Hi, my name's Haley Finch. I'm a dietitian and I freezer meal prep. Today I'm gonna make 8 freezer meals and I'd love for you to join me. So I just wanted to kind of explain how I like to start freezer meal prepping. And that is, I have my own little section here and it only has the ingredients of the recipe that I'm currently working on. That way I don't get confused. That way nothing gets forgotten or missed out, and everything else is usually back here. I've got this this card over here just because it's a little bit easier to grab while I'm talking to you. But yeah, so we're just gonna get started. The lineup today is as follows. We've got French dip, creamy tomato basil chicken, sheet pan chicken and rainbow veggies, the P.F. Chang's copycat lettuce wraps, crispy sheet pan gnocchi and veggies, and garden pasta, cheeseburger soup, and tikka masala chicken. So a lot of great things. I'm super excited for what is about to go into my freezer. Okay, so my first recipe that I am going to be working on is French dip. In my bag is 2 pounds of beef chuck roast, and I'm just gonna get started. So, I'm gonna use this beef bouillon. I totally prefer beef bouillon over, like the better than bouillon over like the cubes. I feel like it tastes so much better. And you can get like any store and even Costco. I've got that. Garlic. One of the great things about meal prep that I really love is that you use all of the same utensils, everything, just get it all dirty now, and then you clean up now, and you never have to dirty a dish later. So it really cuts down on the messes, which is nice, and I love that. Now, if you're new to freezer meal prep, what I'm doing is I'm putting all of the raw ingredients together in this bag and freezing it. And that way later, all I have to do is dump and go, and I'm not doing any prepping during the week, which saves so much time. Like, it's unbelievable. I'll be prepping, this will take me less than an hour, and it'll save me hours throughout the next week or two as I'm making these meals for my dinners. Minced onion, let me wash this off. Now, a lot of people think that these freezer meals are bland, they might taste gross. That is not the kind of meals that I like to make because I don't like bland and gross recipes. So I choose not to make those kind of freezer meals. However, those are made. These ones have so much flavor and they taste so good. One second, I'm done with this recipe. So see how fast that took? Not even 5 minutes. So I'm going to seal the bag. I have about 1 to 2 inches left, and I'm going to press out all of the air. Ah, come on, buddy. Press out all the air. This one's ready for the freezer. It needs 2 cups of water, but I'm just going to add that when I'm actually cooking it, so that way it saves space in the freezer. And it makes it so it actually fits in the slow cooker or Instapot. So hold that thought. I'm gonna go put this in my freezer and I'll be back. Now that that's in the freezer, I'm gonna start on my next meal. So to do that, I'm gonna put all of these ingredients back into my inventory and then pull out the ingredients and put them on my workstation for the next recipe. Sheet pan and rainbow veggies. Okay, I'll pull out everything. So we need olive oil, we're ready to keep going. So, where was I? Oh yeah, bland recipes. No go here. These are so flavorful, so good. And as you can see, we just had a French dip, and now this one is a sheet pan meal. So they're different cooking methods you can use for these freezer meals. They don't always have to be slow cooker. They don't have to be Instapot. You can have sheet pan, you can have grill meals, air fryer meals. There are so many options, which is so nice. So just a little food for thought there. One, two, three. We got my lemon. I'm gonna juice and zest this. Forgot to grab my zester. I just have this little guy. You can use the small side of your stand-up grater if you have one, if you don't have a zester, or you could buy one, you know, the other kinds that you have. I like this little guy because it fits in my drawer and doesn't take a lot of space. I am very, what does one call it? I don't like a lot of things. I just lost my wordage. Anyways, I don't like to have a lot of things laying around. And so if it's small, I'll take it. So I got that zested right into there. Cut this in half. Same with my juicer. Nice, small, fits in my drawer. Juice this. Now, I got started with freezer meals, in case you were interested about my backstory. About 6 years ago, really close to right after I became a dietitian. And I would teach freezer meal prep classes for a meal prep company and work with diet accommodations and food allergies and stuff. And I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. Absolutely loved it. I had never done it at home before then. It was always just in a class at a grocery store. And then I had 3 kids in 3.5 years. It was a wild ride. And I had to quit. And with that meant not getting freezer meals from there anymore. And for a while, I just didn't have them. And there came a point where I just didn't have any time. Here I am, a dietitian. I know how to cook. I know how to feed my family. And we were eating chicken nuggets. We were going out to eat a lot. Spaghetti, like, you know, just the simplest dinners because I was so overwhelmed and I just didn't have time. It was a very overwhelming time of my life. And I just wished that I had freezer meals again. Once you taste it, you can't untaste how easy it is to just throw something into a slow cooker Instapot. But we had moved away from town, so we weren't close, and I didn't work there anymore. And I just kept thinking, like, it would be so nice if I could just have these freezer meals. But I don't want to pay a fortune to have them made for me and delivered, you know? And then I just had an aha moment. I'm like, I've taught these classes for years. I help people make these freezer meals for years. Can't you just do it at home, Haley? Like, duh moment instead of aha moment. You know what I mean? And so that's when I started freezer meal prepping from home. And when I started creating recipes. All these recipes that I'm making, I have created on my own. They are my own. And I have a website that actually can help you guys make meal plans and freezer meals in minutes. So you could access all of these freezer-friendly recipes that are dietitian-friendly and made in the healthiest way without skimping on deliciousness. And you could quickly and easily make recipes and automatically create a shopping list from this website. So if that's something you're interested, I just have a link in the description. And the company is called Freezer Meal Prep. Very generic. but it just makes it so people can hopefully find me, and that I can help a lot more people get meals on the table for their families, because that's really what I'm passionate about, is helping the overwhelmed parent like myself get meals on the table and not having to spend a fortune, whether that's going through the drive-through, grocery shopping all the time because your food goes bad in the fridge because you forgot to make something, you know, whatever it may be. Doing those meal boxes, those are so expensive. That stuff's not necessary. You can prep stuff on your own so easily within an hour if you just have a plan and you know what you're doing. So that's what we're here for. Hopefully you're learning how to do it, you're seeing how to do it, and you're kind of gleaning some knowledge from these videos so you can do it on your own. So I got all my veggies chopped. Let's see, what's next? Onion powder. So this is where I need to focus, otherwise I'm gotta watch that. Gonna mess this up. So teaspoon. And these recipes that I'm making tonight, are in the works. So every recipe on the website I make constantly for my family. They're tested and retested until they pass my expectations. And then they go up on the website. So these ones are ones that I'm testing, I'm retesting, and hopefully we'll make the cut soon. So as you follow along, you'll kind of see how these make it into there. I think I forgot garlic, 1 tablespoon. See, gotta catch myself. This is why you only have the ingredients that you need, because I noticed I didn't use my garlic and I totally would have forgotten that. So done with this recipe. And because this is a sheet pan meal, I want to make sure that it's kind of, you know, mixed a little bit more, so that way everything gets all the spices and you don't end up with a carrot with all the salt on it. Okay, good enough. Throwing it in my freezer. We are good to go. So we're going to start with chopping up our veggies. With green onion, you can go up as high as you'd like. There's still a lot of flavor as you go. You don't have to just do this bottom part. I feel like there's a lot of controversy about that. But yeah, you could use the whole thing. And then just down the stalk until it feels right. Feels right about right there. Get rid of that. Throw it in. Watered chestnuts, drained, and did I say chopped? I did say chopped. Okay. Hello, fellas. Watered chestnuts always confuse me. Like, what really are they? They're delicious. But also, what are you? I don't know. I think just like that. I think I want a bigger dice because I like the crunch of water chestnuts, so I'm not going to dice them up too small. So this recipe I'm planning on having 3 cooking methods, I think. If you want to thaw it and cook it over the skillet or stovetop, and then of course slow cooker or Instapot. I always try with my recipes to have at least 2 cooking methods because everybody's different and nobody likes to cook the same. So why only have 1 cooking method, you know? Garlic, ginger, best hack ever. When you buy a ginger root, you never use the whole thing and it just goes to waste, you know? When you buy ginger paste, it lasts in the fridge forever and it tastes and smells the exact same because it's the exact same thing. Someone just minced it up for you. So big time saver. Highly recommend doing this instead of buying and grating your own. Oh, ginger smells so good. Take a minute. Okay, soy sauce. See if I've got enough in this guy. And into the cup. Perfect. Okay. Rice vinegar. Oh, it's open, thank goodness. Whoever invented opening these rice vinegar things, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, you know. Hoisin sauce. I always try to cut down on dishes, and so I have this 1/8 of a cup, so I'm just going to do it twice because it's 1/4 of a cup. I'm always trying to find ways to have less dishes because dishes, a necessary evil, you know what I mean? Don't love doing dishes. And I'm getting to the point of like having kids where I'm realizing why some people have 2 dishwashers, because I'm to a point where I'm almost doing 2 loads a day. It's insane. These kids go through so many cups. It blows my mind. And the more I ask them not to use more cups, the more cups that they use. So figure that one out for me. Sriracha, delicious, salt, pepper, 1/4. Okay, this one is done. Insane how fast it goes. Like, not even a joke. Like, that's done. When you have ground meat, just a little tip for you, don't mix all the ingredients in. Keep the meat in a lump so that way it all cooks together and it doesn't disintegrate. If you mix it all in with the juices, it kind of disintegrates and it tastes a little bit weird. But if you keep it in a chunk, it just cooks all together and then you just break it up once it's all cooked and then you have those nice tender pieces. So, fridge, freezer. We are going to work on a meatless meal. Sheet pan gnocchi veggie over here. We are ready to go. So I'm just going to start with chopping up these peppers. Well, I'll put these in first so I can make some room. Now, one reason I'm starting this channel is because I feel like there's not a lot of people on social media or on YouTube that show what it's like real life to freezer meal prep. They're all either doing the 30 meals or 100 meals or not really showing you how to freezer meal prep. They just have everything kind of out. You know what I mean? You're just looking, you're like, well, how'd you get to that? Or the recipes aren't healthy. They're like adding tons of sugar. And I'd rather get my sugar somewhere else than with my dinner. So I always try to lay back on it. There's one recipe in here that does have sugar, which a little bit's fine. But when you're adding like a cup or 2, I'm like, whoa. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, if you're noticing how I'm dicing these peppers, it's the easiest way in the world. Now, watch closely. You stand it up on its stem. Well, stand it up. And you cut down around the stem, and it just naturally cuts away the seeds in the lining. And all you have left is this, and you just chuck it, and then you could dice it up however you want to. For this recipe, it's sliced. This is another sheet pan meal that I'm making. I like to have a lot of variety when making my recipes. Now you may ask, do your kids eat all of these? There's lots of veggies. Like, my kids are so picky, there's no way. Like, how do you do it? I don't. My kids are kids, just like if you have your kids, just like yours may be. And they don't love vegetables. And do you know what? That's perfectly normal. They're kids. That's part of growing up, is getting, you know, a little adverse to different foods, and vegetables and fruits, they're not always going to taste the same. Like when a kid eats a Cheez-It, for example, it's always going to taste like a Cheez-It. If they take a blueberry or a vegetable, one carrot might be sweet, one might be bitter. And so it's kind of unexpected, you know what I mean? And it kind of is a turnoff for young kids. And my rule is not to let that stop me from eating what I love and eating healthier. Because if you continue to make it and continue to expose them, it's all about exposure. Exposing them to new foods, eventually they're going to eat it. Research shows that it takes kids about 10 to 20 exposures of the same food, kind of made the same way, before some kids are willing to even taste it or eat it. So don't be worried about it. I always just have a safe food. So when I make this recipe for myself and my husband, I will make a safe food as well. Something that goes along with it and pairs well with it that me and my husband will eat too. So it's not making something separate. It's just adding something that's safe that they can have, whether it's toast, whether it's some pasta, whether it's, I don't know, chicken, whatever that safe food may be for the day. I'll add that so that way they know that if they see this and they don't want to eat it, that's fine. They could have the safe food. And then, yeah, that's it for the meal. Gnocchi. I'm just gonna dump this straight in. It's already getting so full. Now for the spices. Let's see. Gotta make sure I get everything in there. My eyes. The onion. Oh my gosh. I know I have it on my fingers. Okay, get out of my hair. Oh. Okay, where was I? Garlic. I hope I finished my thought because I got distracted. 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. Now, I usually recommend thawing all the meals that don't go in a slow cooker or Instant Pot. Newsflash, you can throw in frozen freezer meals to your slow cooker or Instant Pot, and you don't have to thaw them. How much time is saved doing that? Amazing. So freezer to pot in seconds. Awesome. If you're making a sheet pan meal or a grill meal or air fryer meal, you do need to thaw it. Otherwise, especially if there's meat, it's not going to cook thoroughly or even at all. So you need to thaw, either putting it in the fridge the night before or putting it under running cold water. But with this veggie meal, I mean, they're just veggies, there's no meat. And so you potentially could throw it on frozen if you wanted to, and then like mix it up as it cooks, and just will need to cook longer. But options, that's what matters, is having options. Rosemary, half a teaspoon. Gotta focus. And red pepper flakes. Okay, this meal is done. So we're gonna seal it, press out as much air as we can. Mix it. Look how beautiful that is. That is a beautiful meal right there. Rainbow. Love it. Okay, freezer. Okay, we're just gonna do all the vegetarian meals. This next one is garden pasta. This one will be a little bit more hands-on. Just say that. I'm wanting to make a pasta sauce that has lots of veggies in it besides just tomato sauce. So this is what we're trialing here. So I'm just going to start with these, get them out of the way. My tomato sauces. I love these just cans that you don't need a can opener for. They're amazing. And now we are getting out the cheese grater. I'm going to grate my carrots and my zucchini. They are going to become the sauce. I'm just cutting off the edges of my carrots, cutting off the edges of my zucchini, and we are just going to go to town. Yeah, let's go to town. For the carrots, I peeled mine just because I like to know that they're really clean. You do whatever feels best for you and your family. Okay. I'm starting to think I should have done this recipe last because it is very messy. But what do you do? Let's set that right there. Holy cow. So messy. Okay, now I'm gonna very finely dice this pepper. Now, I'm not super worried about this being like super finely diced because my family does not like chunks in their pasta. So I know that I'm going to be blending it once it's cooked on the day of, just in my blender. I thought about maybe blending it up like right now, but I don't know, maybe I can. Maybe I'll do that next time. Just like throwing all these veggies in, blending it, and then I don't have to do it on the day of. Let me know what you think. Would you blend it all up now or blend it on the day of? It would be really hot on the day of, that's for sure. I don't know. Okay, I need to clean this up. 1 second. So much better. Where were we? Everything's grated, everything's ready. Now I just need to add everything else. So, olive oil. And I'm just going to go down the line so I don't lose my spot. Onion powder. The wrong one. Rookie mistake. Okay, onion powder. Half a tablespoon. So we'll do 1.5 here. And then I'm going to add some white sugar. Not for necessarily sweetness, but adding sugar to a pasta like this helps cut down on the acidity. So I don't like my sauces acidic, so we're just adding that in there. Parsley. Garlic powder. Ooh, hope I've got enough. Italian seasoning, half a tablespoon. Ooh, dang. I was like, measured that out perfect. Okay. And crushed red pepper. Get a teaspoon. Oh, and salt. Important. Okay. Just This is done. Yes, this is done. On the day of, I'm going to add some water to it to thin it out, especially with all these veggies. But that is going to be, hopefully, a good pasta sauce. Yum. Freezer. Next up is cheeseburger soup. Okay, I've already tested this at least once. What I've learned is you want extra lean ground beef. Make it not so greasy. So we're giving this extra lean ground beef a try. The rest of the flavors were good. That was my only problem. So we're giving this last one a try, and if it's still too oily for me, then we'll see. Okay, I hope that you can see how easy this freezer meal prep is and how quickly we're getting all of these done. And how flavorful these are all so different. They're so different. And so you won't feel like you're eating the same thing every day. And I guess I should talk to you while I'm doing something. As you start freezer meal prepping, you will notice that nobody will notice that the majority of your meals are freezer meal prep meals, because they all taste so good, and multiple cooking methods, like you're literally only just prepping everything at the same time and cooking it later. So it's as fresh as it could be. It's just as fresh as if you were to prep all of these on the day of. Like, it's the exact same thing. Minus, you just got to make sure you have the right recipes that are freezer friendly. Otherwise, you might get mushy. So just make sure you're doing the right recipes. So if you need some guidance on that, freezermealprep.pro is where you'd want to go to find delicious freezer-friendly recipes. But nobody will notice, and they'll be shocked when they learn that some of the recipes that you are making are freezer recipes. So, trick to get a really small dice on, I didn't tell you, on carrots and celery, is to slice them down the middle, and if you want them even smaller, slice them down the middle again. So you get these very thin pieces, and then you just bunch them all together and you slice them at the same time. Very quick way to dice up your celery and carrots, or anything, long. There we go. Okay. Running a little low. Gotta get some more. Put that in there. Okay. Now we're back on track. I sure hope. Chicken bouillon. Costco, man. These things are huge. It's going to do an overfilled tablespoon because it calls for 4 teaspoons. And just use your bag to wipe it off. No need for a spatula. Once again, trying not to use very many utensils. Oregano. 1 teaspoon. And salt. Okay, that one is done. And it looks a little dry. You say, Haley, isn't this a soup? It is. I'm just gonna add 4 cups of water before I cook it. So I'll just add it right into the pot, and it saves a lot of freezer space. Like I said before, this is just an extreme example. The other one was only like a cup or 2. So freezer. Okay. We have 2 left. Let's do this. We're gonna start on tikka masala. So, tikka masala, unsweetened coconut milk. Just gonna throw her in. Tomato sauce, 15-ounce can. Yum. Now tomato paste, about half of this. Could measure, but we're just close enough. 5 tablespoons. Okay, minced garlic. Brown sugar. Woo. So many flavors. You'll be surprised what meals you can freezer prep. You can really freezer prep almost any meal, I have discovered. Now, milk does not freezer prep well, so you usually add milk after it cooks, which is a great way to kind of beat the system. So I'll cook everything else in the recipe that it may entail, and then afterwards I'll add the milk, the cream cheese, the sour cream, whatever it may be, and it tastes so good. 2 teaspoons right here. A little bit less. Ginger paste, garam masala. Get this bad boy out there. Woo. Onion powder, 1 teaspoon. Salt and pepper. And then guess what? This meal is done. Look at that. Your Thai fix. If you like Thai, I love Thai food. It is so good. I just crave it all the time. So yeah, there we go. Creamy tomato basil chicken. Yum. I just love knowing that I don't have to touch meat for another 2 weeks. It just brings me so much joy knowing that. And I just pull it out, throw it in, we're done. It's amazing. Okay, tomatoes, Italian seasoning, garlic, salt, basil, pepper. We just need a moment of silence for my spice container. That lid was not on all the way. I have my backup. Okay. Oh, that makes me sad. Okay, creamy tomato basil chicken. This is a perfect example of a recipe that's gonna have dairy in it, and I'm just gonna add it after it cooks. So we're gonna add everything else. So I've got my chicken. We're gonna add our tomatoes. That was so traumatic for me. Okay, tomato sauce. I'm still so sad that I broke that. Tomato sauce, our Italian seasonings, 2 teaspoons, minced garlic, salt, oh, might need to fix that, basil, and black pepper. Good enough. Okay, guys, this is the last one. It ended a little crazy, but we finished. It took me less than an hour. By the time I finish cleaning up, it will be around an hour, pulling everything out, labeling bags, prepping, and then cleaning up. Just an hour. You can do this. It is so possible, something you can totally do. Totally recommend it. If you're interested, freezermealprep.pro is the website you want to look at, where you can get advice for freezer meal prep. I've got a ton of resources for you. I've got that membership if you're interested in it. If not, that's totally fine. I've got free recipes that you can use on the website. Take a look at it. They'll be great.